This video is sponsored by Squarespace. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform to build a beautiful online presence and run your business.
Have to be your biggest fan, and when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that.
Here's why I haven't been uploading to YouTube, and here are some good advice for anybody trying to pursue a creative field in any way whatsoever. I was standing too close to the mural. Now, this is an analogy that I got from Andy J. Pizza, whose podcast I've been listening to recently, but he said he stood too close to a mural, and you just go haywire on this little section. You work really hard to try to make it very articulate and good, and then you step back to look at the entire thing, and you realize that the piece that you did doesn't really match the rest, and you've kind of ignored everything else. That's exactly where YouTube has taken me, and that's exactly what happens to a lot of people who create in any field whatsoever. Sometimes we get caught up in that focus, and sometimes we overvalue that focus, and we get caught up in it. But a lot of times it's just because it feels safe. But art is supposed to be experimental. So what are you focusing on too much right now, or what are you using as a clutch that's preventing you from exploring your true creative self? For me, ironically, it was YouTube. So I finally took a step back to look at the entire mural, and I like what I did with the little YouTube section, but the rest of it was just confusing. The rest of it was a mess. Why is it so zoomed in? Here's my point. The less you need your art to make money, the more likely your art will make you money. The beauty of all of our individual arts is the fearlessness of it, not trying to cater it to have a wide impact to people. Or dogs. What's that? People want wide impact over deep impact. They want virality over connection. The really cool thing about creating art or content nowadays is that we can all have a very deep impact on a very few amount of people. And that's way better for yourself and those people and business. It's about having loyal fans or loyal followers over fickle fans. Fickle fan of fickle. So here's my practical advice. What's your art? Is it doodling? Is it taking photos? Is it making videos? Is it skateboarding? Start creating. Create terrible content. Create great content. Create steak content. The biggest skill set I obtained from making over 1,000 videos on YouTube is the ability to make content fast and learn from it. The faster you create, the faster you learn. And if you're deeply invested into something like making videos, when you take a step back, you might learn more about yourself. I saw someone who wasn't utilizing their skills because they were so afraid to take a step back and look at the entire picture. So I stopped making YouTube videos indefinitely, and oh my God, the results were insane. And for the first time ever, I feel like I've had a lot of creators reach out to me, a lot of fans in general reach out and say truly deep, impactful, meaningful things to me. And instead of carrying my camera bag on my back every day, I reduced all my film gear to this bag. It's just my GoPro and the phone that's filming right now on a little tripod. And I use the Apple Watch as an LCD screen so I can see myself. Siri, shut up. And I reduced it so that I would spend more time skateboarding rather than setting up a big camera to get an angle. I can just set up this phone in 2 seconds or just put the GoPro on my head and go around the park. So I've been skateboarding more than ever recently. And before the skateboarding begins, I want to give an extra special shout out to the sponsor of this video, Squarespace. Not only are they an all-in-one platform, but they have the most beautiful templates, award-winning templates. Their 24/7 customer service is amazing, and anytime I have a question at all about any little particular button, they're there for me instantly. They have so many essential marketing tools, including their email campaign, which is such a good thing to have for anyone out there trying to build a business. Choosing a domain or transferring your domain is so unbelievably easy. You just type in what you want, and if that option isn't available, it'll show you all the other options that are very similar to it. But the best part about Squarespace, in my opinion, is using it for an online store. It's what I've built all my stores with, and it's so easy, and it makes the whole process just Spickle spam, easy, clean. So be sure to click the link in the description down below if you don't already have a website. 200% recommended it, or you can go to squarespace.com/JohnHill to get 10% off signing up or your first domain. And honestly, I haven't felt at peace or content with life in a very long time. And I'm actually trying to write. I'm trying to conceptualize ideas that I believe will be helpful to people, practical advice, tips, inspiration. I've also randomly been working on a skateboard company. I'm gonna be on Revive Skateboards for Life. It's a whole different type of thing that today I actually need to go pick up the prototype at my old place. So that's future video. And we moved to Brooklyn. Back to the point, we moved to Brooklyn yesterday for one reason alone. There's a washer and dryer in this unit place and a helmet to the right. Besides that, if you are having a little bit of trouble starting your creativity or trying to get in the right mindset, here's a tidbit of advice. Take the time to be inspired. Listen to sources that you trust that have given you inspiration in the past and be practical. Take notes. Put yourself in an inspiring situation. Right now I'm just boosting around the city, doing something that's mind-numbing and fun while listening to a podcast and taking notes on my phone so that there's just levels of inspiration around me, bruh. And then finally, the hardest part, sit with those notes, read through the notes, and then just write down anything that comes to your mind, your interpretation of anything that you found inspiring. Even if it doesn't feel smart or right, just write it down, and I promise something will come of it. It helps a lot, and I don't know how often I'll be uploading, but this is just a small part of the big picture, and I want to try my hardest to create the right kind of content for the people who have truly supported me. Whether that be this YouTube channel or a podcast or a Patreon, I'm definitely figuring it out, maybe a little bit of each, but I've done so much in this creative world already, and I've adapted so much of a mind for this creative entrepreneurship endeavor that I have so much advice and ideas that I want to translate to people, but I don't really know exactly how to just yet. But it's gonna come soon. But if you do want to keep up with the day-to-day action and the really consistent experience, I've been uploading to my Instagram all the time, like all day, every single day, and trying to give all the advice I can and showing all my new doodles, my new drawings, artwork, whatnot, and a lot of skateboarding. For now, I want to leave you with one more thing. I think the best art comes from truly understanding yourself and your intuition. Embrace what seems genuinely fun. Embrace the kind of work that you can get completely lost in. It can literally be anything. Throwing something into a trash can, drawing, going outside and running around in circles, any random act that you love and that makes you happy and puts you in a flow state where you're just lost in the fun. Somewhere in these random activities that truly capture your attention is the essence of the art that you can create for other people, because I promise there are other people out there that love the thing that you love as much as you do. And I forgot who said this, but it was a quote that knocked me off my socks. I fell right off of them. They said if you ever feel lost in your creativity and you don't feel inspired, to go back to something from childhood, an old book or an old cartoon. Somewhere in that cartoon or that old book or story is not only the essence of what makes you happy, but the essence of what you should be doing for a living. I'm pretty sure I butchered that quote, but it's something like that, and I carry that with me all the time. I hope this video genuinely inspires or helps you in some way, and that's the point of the content from now on. That's what I want to try to do, and I hope you enjoyed today's video. I'll see you next time for another one. I love you so much. Progress daily, and keep killing it!